Do it again.
The record, court is calling 2019 CR 9039, State of Texas versus James Arlington Cole. Can I have parties approach and announce for the record? Come down.
Zach done for the state.
Can you give it for the defendant?
And are you Mr. Cole?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery.
Yeah. Sorry, Judge, some of these,
Oh, no problem.
Go in and change.
they like to mess with me.
They do their own thing.
I'm sorry, Judge.
No problem. All right, we're back on the record. With regards to the true bill and indictment, Mr. Cole, have you reviewed that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. No, yes. Your Honor, we are clearly, I am not functioning today, but I am.
That's okay. No, I believe because count two is an assault family second.
You know, Your Honor, we're gonna waive count two, Your Honor, and just proceed on count one.
All right, any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
Did you understand in count one, you're charged with the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're going to go off the record. Could you mute us, please? Oh, yes, and it's Monday. All right, we're going to go back on the record. 2019 CR 9039, State of Texas versus James Arlington Cole. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Zach done for the state.
defense?
Jeannie Cupid for the defendant.
All right. See, we're going to pretend like this never happened.
That works.
So did you all, Mr. Cole, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Did you understand if the court were to grant your application
Yes, ma'am.
for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has assisted me in his defense, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, he does.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, state is recommending deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with. Did you understand with affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
State, I'm sorry,
Yes, Judge.
defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. Did you understand that's a recommendation from the state and the court does not have to follow that recommendation?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Then to count one in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Yes, Your Honor. State offers states one and attachments.
Any objections?
None.
All right. And while I'm reviewing that and talking to him about that, if you all can initial. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, off the record. Can you mute us, please?
Okay.
Could I have the parties re-announce?
Pseudonym for the state, Your Honor. Zach Dunn.
Okay.
Jeannie Cupid for the defendant, Your Honor.
All right, where we left off, Mr. Cole, you reviewed the waiver to consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations with your attorney. Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right, anything you wish to say?
I just want to say thank you. God bless you.
Oh,
Isn't there
okay.
anything? Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, but, and God bless you too, but I'm talking about anything you want to say about this case.
Your Honor, may I
No.
speak? Can I
Yes.
speak? I've worked with Mr. Cole for several years now. He has expressed to me that on this day was not the best day, and he's extremely remorseful for what happened. He wishes to take responsibility for that. He is a sole parent to a little 8-year-old girl. He lives in Houston. He's a caretaker for his mother also, who's 68 years old. She cares for his daughter when he travels as a truck driver. He is thankful that the court would consider his application for deferred, and I believe he'd be a good candidate for that, Your Honor.
All right, I'm trying to figure out though, what is your problem? Because of course, the state is waiving count 2. But count 2 shows that you committed a domestic violence case in Caddo Parish, Louisiana, as we call it, Shreveport. So there's a domestic violence case there. Then there are 2 domestic violence cases against Miss. What is your issue? I don't understand how having a bad day means you go to a plasma center where somebody's giving blood and chase them around a parking lot and upset because they don't want you as their boyfriend. How old are you?
34, Your Honor.
All right, so this is not 5-year-olds where you're putting some girl's pigtails in an inkwell. I'm not that old, but that's what they did on Little House on the Prairie. So I'm trying to figure out what's your issue.
No issue, Your Honor.
No, I mean, you have violent tendency, which why? Why do you feel the need to be abusive to people that you're in a relationship with? And I'm assuming you love them. So why are you being abusive?
I wasn't abusive. It just,
No, if you chase somebody around the parking lot, unless y'all playing Ring Around the Rosies, and if you're not playing that, then that means that you're violent. And the poor guy who was taking people's blood and they're trying to relax and eat their cookies and give blood, he had to witness this. So don't come before me saying you don't have violent tendencies, because your history shows that you do. And this case is a violent case. That's why it's called aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And honestly, aggravated assaults, you never see them where they say friendly aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. It's always violent, because that's why it's aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. So I'm trying to figure out, what is your problem? Why are you abusive to people you claim to love? Your 8-year-old is going to grow up and ultimately be in a relationship with somebody. Do you want somebody to be abusive to her?
no, ma'am.
You want somebody to chase her around a parking lot?
No, ma'am.
So again, why are you doing this? Because I don't know if I should accept this plea or not. I'm trying to figure out why you're doing what you do. And you and I both know that the person who's taking care of the 8-year-old is not you. It's your mom, her grandmother. So why do you have anger issues? I mean, there has to be a reason. I mean, if somebody say they don't want you, then usually the answer to that is okay. And as my grandmother would say when she's alive, she's like, my heart may be breaking in 1,000 pieces and I'm crying on the inside, but you'll never see it on the outside. Or as Beyonce says in her song, you know, there will not be a tear falling from this eye. So why can't you accept when people don't want you?
Because I have a heart, Your Honor.
Everybody has a
I'm
heart, but
like caring heart, you know, but
that doesn't make sense to me. That somebody breaks up to you with you, you have a caring heart, so you abuse them because they want to leave. Did you ever look internally and find out why maybe Miss Washington didn't want to be with you? And then you slash your tires. Do you know how much tires cost? That's expensive. And if she's at the place giving blood and making a donation, maybe she's selling plasma, maybe not. Usually when they say in the report that someone was giving plasma, that usually means that they're selling it. Otherwise, they're just giving a blood donation. So why you slash your tires?
because I paid for them, Your Honor.
So is that a gift? Were those tires a gift? Are you being childish? Everything I bought you, I want, and I'm gonna tear it up? I don't even know if you paid for those tires. But guess what? You chalk that up. Whenever you're in a relationship with somebody and even with family, when you give them money, it's not a loan. If they pay you back, great. If they don't, you have to accept it. And if you're in a relationship, did you tell her, I'm giving you these tires, but if you break up with me, I want my tires back? So why should I follow this agreement? I'm still trying to figure that out. I mean, there has to be a reason why I should follow this other than you just throwing yourself on the mercy of the court.
Because I am a good person,
Your record doesn't show that.
and I changed for the better, Your Honor. And I have not gotten in no trouble under the 5 years that this charge been going on. I've been driving trucks for 5 years. I have my own business. I was leasing a truck with the company I was with, and now since I don't have none, I don't have no job, I don't have nothing no more because I'm in jail. But I understand, and I really better myself, you know, and try to, you know, go back out there and do what's right, you know, and for my family, for my daughter, for myself as well.
All right. So where is he living now?
In Houston, Your Honor.
In state, have you had any contact with the complainant?
We've attempted, Your Honor, of course, for the past few years, and we've not been able to reach them.
All right. So this was indicted in 2018. That's before my time. Otherwise, this case would have moved quicker. All right. This is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with. And who is the mother of your 8-year-old? And why is she not taking care of her daughter?
Your
I
Honor,
got custody of it, Your Honor.
She's never been involved in the child's life.
All right. These are people we choose to have children with. I'm going to ask for 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once that's completed, the court will deem the community service hours to be satisfied. The BIPP course, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. I'll allow transfer to Houston. What county is that? Harris, thank you. Probation. Is there anything else? All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
About going back, on the road, probably.
Well, I mean, you have to be employed,
I was
so.
And work with your probation and all that, and I'll work with you if there's an issue, I can come back to the court.
All right, he's allowed to travel for work. If you can make sure that's in the paperwork.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. From here on out, everything you do, every decision you make, you know what the first question you should ask? Is this something that could potentially result in me going to prison for 20 years? If the answer is yes, don't do it. The other thing is you desperately need to get an orchid in your life. Let me tell you why I tell people that. Orchids are so hard to get to rebloom. When you get them from the store, the blooms are there, they're beautiful, right? Once you're able to get that orchid and the blooms fall off, if you're able to get that orchid to rebloom, you may be ready for a relationship. And I don't say that lightly. And the reason why I say that is because orchids take a lot of patience. When they don't rebloom, what you want to do, what you're tempted to do is like, let me just throw this in the trash. I'm going to get another one with the same color and people will think, oh, look, it's blooming great. She's doing a great job with it. Don't do that. Get that orchid. And when you're driving your truck, travel with your orchid to get to know your orchid. And once it reblooms, you may be ready for a relationship. You understand? And if somebody doesn't want you, let them go. Right? They don't want you. You understand? And do not get in touch with her. She doesn't want you anymore. She don't want you in your life. Y'all don't have any children or property together. She's done with you. You understand? All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.